Cheers. I wish. It has been quite a stressful morning here, unfortunately. All related to myself, of course. You know, it's coming around tax year here in Australia, and I can't see how it's legal that you can charge someone a debt because I didn't declare the right amount for my partner's husband's income. Now, because I get the family tax benefit for my child, I have to suffer with the debt, which I think is wrong. I declared my husband's income in goodwill, in good jest. It's not I don't lie about these things. People don't lie about these things. If they're told one thing, but then they're shown another thing, why should you suffer the consequences? I'm so stressed at the moment. So stressed. I haven't had a good night's sleep, probably 2 or 3 weeks now. I wake up, I can't sleep, and it's because of the pain. Someone once told me that God gave the woman the role of having children because they not only physically could bear the child, but they mentally and emotionally could take the pain from the childbirth. Yep, I agree with that. But what I can't understand, I've got so much pain, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. No light at all. And I know I'm feeling this way because I'm tired, I'm physically drained, emotionally as well, and mentally. So I'm feeling stressed because of the pain and the lack of sleep and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Then on top of it, my poor husband has his tooth pulled out this morning. He's just come off a 4-night stint of night shift. I'm proud of him because he started to work again, and he started at a officer level, and he's obviously going to work his way up. He hasn't been able to pass a vet check or something of that nature because of his history. So in turn, he started down low, and he's going to work his way up to obviously a managerial role or an analyst role. I don't know, whatever they do in that industry. So there you have it. I'm crying again to the world. Just, wow. I don't even know. What is the penalty for owing the ATO money and you can't pay it back? I physically cannot pay it back. You know, I normally give my husband my entire NS pay, and I have for some time now. Over a year, 2 years, whatever. For the 3 years that I've been off, I've paid the rent. And because I started stuffing it up, we gave my husband the role because the medication that I'm on is obviously so strong. It was just giving me so much brain fog, in particular the Lyrica. I've gone down, I've come back up on it, gone down, come back up on it. So I'm on the maximum dose of that. But as a result, unfortunately, it gives you a bit of brain fog. So he took over the rent. So in turn, I had to pay what I had to normally pay on rent. I gave all to him. So what, I'd earn a fortnight, say, about 800 a fortnight I make, and I used to give him the entire amount. And that's because I used to pay the rent. And then with his money, he'd pay, his medication, his phone, his credit card. And I think that's what he used to pay with his $700 and something a fortnight. I used to buy some food, so I'm not sure how much food, probably about $100 worth a fortnight. And then my daughter, she spent maybe $200-300 a week on food. So, and then she'd help me with my bills. So my bills are my mobile phone, the internet, the Foxtel. What else is there? Oh, I pay for my own rego because my account's overdrawn for that. She couldn't help me with my Medicare fund, Medibank fund, car insurance. I finally only caught up on that. That's because I've now taken payments back and pay half of what I owe for rent and things like that. There's just so many bills. It's just, wow. It's just unfun. Then when I get this call back from the ATO, and it's because what we do in Australia is we approximate what we earn each year. And if you've got children under the age of 16, they top up your income. So what would happen is, for example, I estimated between us both that we earn, say, $35,000. That's 2 people a year. Now, because I've confirmed that I have correctly told Centrelink what I've earned, apparently my husband has earned more, but we've not declared it. So as a result, what they're saying to me is he got money back in his tax return. I didn't. I owe money, and that's because he was paid it. So now they're going to send that to me in writing because I don't know what I'm going to do. I may have to go to the tribunal because it's not really my debt, in effect. It's his, because he actually got the money, not me. So they're obviously wanting that back. And it's like, it's a sufficient time. It's $2,500 or under that, but it was between 2 and 2.5. I'm just so stressed. I've got, and I wanted to have a roast pork tonight for dinner. There's no potatoes, there's no pumpkin, there's carrots. That's all we have in the fridge, carrots. And we've got carrots. It's not like I have to go to a food bank and ask for food because we can afford to buy food. It's just that, well, it just doesn't get bought, unfortunately. There's only so much I can ask my daughter for, and she has given up her whole pay for quite some time now. It's just so difficult, and today the pain is just wearing me down. It's got to the stage now where I even hurt when I'm laying in bed. I'm in pain when I'm in bed. I just don't know what to do. And I do want to stress one thing, and that one thing is that I've never had any unsafe thoughts, none whatsoever. And I've been clear of them for at least, actually I noticed on the letter that my doctor wrote, for 24 months. So I'm quite proud of that. So the medication has and is working, and it continues to work for my depression and anxiety. I'm just at a loss. I'm just so sick of having to pay bills. Although on a good note, there's a program in Australia that's called Rent to Own. I heard from the company this morning, you put a 2 to 3% deposit down on the value of the home, and then after that you still pay your weekly rent, but technically you are the landlord. But obviously you paid off over a 30-year period. And I passed a credit check to actually be able to get that, so I'm rapt about that because I didn't think I would be able to. I've had some debts in the past, bills that I've not been able to pay, and in return what's happened is I've got a bad name because I've gone to a debt collector. I don't know, a lot of people do these days. I don't know how families actually survive. I truly don't know how they survive. So yeah, that's what I was getting at. So I have to now look for a solicitor to look at the agreement. So I have to find a realist or someone who deals in rental. But I'm actually going to propose to my husband, when he feels better, of course, that we have our nephew look it over and pay him. I think he actually deals in family law though, so unless he's got some knowledge about real estate, I'm not sure that he will be able to help. But we can offer, you know, pay family member. So that's good. And the great thing is we won't need to use, or I won't need to use, the remaining of my TPD. I can keep some of it for my health issues in the future. It's a struggle at the moment. I mean, we paid all of our debts off when we first received, I paid all of our debts off when I received the first lot of the money when it came through, and we had a bit of a good Christmas because my mum was her last Christmas. She passed away in February. Didn't even get that money. And we put some of it away for a house, but then in the interim, I'm needing medical assistance with pain relief, so I need a ketamine infusion and things like that. And medication wise, you know, like I'm gonna need money to actually, and I don't think he understands that. He won't be able to pay for all my medical needs, not with his job. That's what this money was for. But anyway, sorry, I've gone off the track again. So we put a 2 to 3% deposit on the house, and then we pay weekly. And then the good thing is I won't have to use all that money, which is great. I can save some for my future medical needs. The doctor doesn't seem to think that within the next 10 years I won't be going back to work, and that's sad because I did anticipate getting better. I wanted to go back to work. That's why I laughed at the cup. Maybe, you know, maybe overnight I'll become a YouTube, what is it? A YouTube success or something, and I'll earn millions and millions of dollars. Not quite. Don't work that way, does it, people? Apparently you've got to work years and years to see the effects of any income through YouTube. Well, that is where I'm at this morning, people. It is a beautiful day, and there's no doubt about that. Blue skies all the way on the Gold Coast. I'm sorry I come to you in such a somber mood, but it's actually not good at all. I'm just sick of suffering pain, and it's every day, it's every hour of the day, every hour of the night. But all good. I don't know what God's plan is, but obviously it's one of suffering. My hair's still looking good. That's one. I'm getting used to it now, to be honest with you. Little funny flecks down the side of my hair. Okay, guys, I'm going to go now. I don't know whether I'll be back again today. Pardon me, but that's where I'm at. Yeah. If I see you again today, I'll see you again. But in the interim, I will quickly edit this little video and I will get it up so that you can see what the update is on my health, my finances, and everything else. And if you've got any advice to offer, please comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that when I do videos like this, it'll upload and be sent right into your inbox. That's if YouTube sends it. Take care, guys. Love to all. And love life. See yous. Hi, you caught me. You caught me doing my facial younger routine. Hardy ha ha ha. Tell ya, you'd think with all the stuff I do for my face, you'd think I would. have a young looking face, but it's just about all worn off, this stuff. I actually leave them until they're almost dried. So it's actually gotten quite overcast now outside today, unfortunately. See the skyline? But it's still not a bad day, can't complain about it. My hair's still the same colour, hardy ha ha ha. And today has actually picked up. It's been such a positive day. We have been for our first counselling sessions, and I'm glad to say that we got a lot out of it. We actually said a lot that we don't normally say to each other when we should be saying it to one another, unfortunately, and that's where we have failed. So this has opened up the door again, fantastically opened up the door again. I'm so pleased, excuse me, because now we can start working on the marriage per se, and if we're feeling, you know, awkward or upset or anything like that, we at least know where we can go from there. So yeah, and I really wanted to add this to the daily vlog because I feel like I have been very negative towards my husband. But the thing is, and I'm not defending either of one of us, the thing is though, we've pretty much not allowed each other to know what each other is thinking. And in fact, I never realised this, but my husband has felt very obligated for years to be the man of the house, to, you know, to be the one to support the family financially, especially financially. And he hasn't been able to do that because he hasn't been able to get a job. However, this wonderful, wonderful company came to our aid and they've employed him. Yes, he starts below at the office as an officer, but the great thing is he gets to know how the business runs, how it develops, how it actually functions, and in return what will happen is if some sort of managerial job arises in the future, he can go for it and have the upper hand because he's already got the experience working for the company. And then at the same time he's got experience, and he's got not experience, but like he's worked up days, like days with the company type of thing. He's worked for the company then for like 3-6 months, a year before it actually goes up. So he's proven himself, in other words. So a lot came out of that counselling session. I'm so glad it's opened the doors now to communication. It's not over. We have to think about things, and it's a constant reminder of how much we need to continue communicating with each other. I'll just take this off now because it's giving me the heebie-jeebies, because it's when I breathe in, it's not sticking up my nose type of thing, and I hate things like that. Oops. Sort of feel like you're suffocating, but anyway. So yes, the first counselling session was a major success. I am over the moon that it has worked out that way, and as I said, we as a couple have to then continue the communication. Another great piece of information is I managed to get out how my daughter feels about my husband and how I feel about his behaviour towards his own daughter, his own flesh and blood. She is very much like her father in the aspect of you can't even, the physical side of the attention really, she doesn't, you can't, she's not one to be cuddled or kissed or, you know, things like that. It's only if, for example, with my mother's death and my mourning and things like that, she's actually come up to me and said, okay, I'll give you a 5-second cuddle. And then I've gone, oh, come on, 10 seconds. And we've, you know, communicated that, and I've got a 10-second hug out of her. So she's very much like him, and he won't show affection type of thing. Well, I've expressed to him through this channel today that he has to start showing some form of communication with her because she feels unloved by him. And I was so impressed. He accepted that. And he said that he will, make a change. He mentioned that he's disappointed in her because she's delayed things like her study. She hasn't finished it. But that's life. We do that. And he's also accepted that he can't be angry with her in that aspect or for those reasons. For the simple fact is, it is a father-daughter relationship, and he has to live in the moment. He can't be hiding his emotions or showing tough love, in other words. He's very much of a person who does that. But then he brought up a good point today, and his father had a stroke when he was young, so he never really had his father around. All he saw in relation to his dad was a sick dad who was frail and needed help all the time, and he didn't have a dad to sort of guide him in certain ways and, to bring him up type of thing. His mum had to do it, and his other brothers and sisters and blah, blah, blah. So that was hard for him as well, which means he doesn't really know how to incorporate that type of love as a father with his with his daughter and son. But he's promised me through today's counselling that he will try. Now, I've also said that I will try hard too, in the aspect of sitting down properly, talking to him about my medical needs and the cost needs and things like that. And, we came to an agreement, and if, we'd keep some of the money beside, give some money for a house, and then the other part of the money we're going to keep in a bank account, joint names, but I will have access to it if I need it for medical reasons. That's what the TPD was for in the first place, so that's only fair. We've achieved a great deal out of today, and I'm really happy. It just means that we both have to keep up the hard work. It's going to take a bit from him to prove to Lauren that he does love her as a dad. He's going to have to show that, and these are ways that he doesn't really know how he does it, but he'll work on that. So, all right, guys, gotta go. My son's telling me he's got a headache real bad, so I'm going to have to give him some paracetamol. Great news though, but continued work expected. I will tune out for the rest of the day, and I will see you again tomorrow. Love to all, and I hope you all find love and meet your aspirations in your life. But until then, see you soon. Bye.